Hi, I'm Chef Mark with LearnToCook.com. In today's session, we'll be making fresh egg pasta. You know, there's 2 ways to make pasta, probably 3 ways, but we're going to talk about 2 today. And the one that many people like to do is to do it in a food processor, because the food processor allows you to make that in short order with the blade. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you can make it by hand the old-fashioned way. I have that here too. What you would do would take a bowl, measure 1 pound of bread flour. You may say, well, I don't have bread flour. Not to worry, you can use all-purpose flour. Bread flour is nice to use because it has higher gluten strains and the pasta is a little firmer. But nonetheless, you can use all-purpose flour. We have bread flour today because that's used to give bread strength and makes a nice durable and pliable pasta that you can cook and get the nice al dente texture from cooking. But the old-fashioned way is take a bowl or a wooden board. Some people use just a pasta board. They use nothing else on the pasta board. Many times it's about 2 feet by 2 feet. And then they'll pour the 1 pound of flour, add the 5 extra large eggs, and in the center in a well, add the oil and salt, and mix by hand. And it can be a little sticky, it can be a little tacky. Let's do the food processor method. It's not much of a mess. Just look at the tactile sensation. So we'll do that now. What you need is a food processor. We put the blade inside, make sure it's connected. You want to put 1 pound of the bread flour inside. And then we're going to add our eggs. I'm going to hold one back because bread flour is different the world over. Sometimes it has more moisture, sometimes it has less moisture, depending where you store or what time of year it is. So I'm going to put almost all the eggs except one in there. I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I like to use extra virgin olive oil for that. Goes for a pinch of salt. So that's actually what fits, in case you're wondering what a pinch is, it actually fits between your thumb and index finger, so that's a pinch, right? And we'll put 2 in, why not? And then let's put the top on the food processor. We'll give it a spin and see what we get. So once it goes around the ball, like you can see, it's pretty much time is ready to take the pasta dough out. So it's good that you held back that extra egg. All right, so now we have to knead this for a while. And it takes about 4 or 5 minutes to get it to a nice consistency. But the hard work is done now because the dough is made. When you make your pasta dough, what you want to do is to knead the dough for about 4 or 5 minutes. You want to make it in a round shape, as you can see here. Fold it from the top down, halfway push forward, quarter turn. Just enough flour so that it doesn't stick too badly on your hands. So fold in half, press down, quarter turn. Fold in half, press down, quarter turn. And we'll do that for 3 or 4 minutes. So once it's kneaded for 4 or 5 minutes, you'll notice that it'll spring back because we've developed the gluten. Now we want to put it into a bowl. It'll sit in the refrigerator about a half an hour. So maybe a few dabs of oil in the bowl so it doesn't stick. Spread it around. A little bit on the top. Turn it over onto the bottom. Put your saran wrap on top, and they can sit overnight. Actually freezes well too. Let it sit about 30, 40 minutes, then we'll cut our pasta shapes with the dough. All right, now that our pasta has set in the fridge for a couple of hours, it needs at least 30 minutes, but if it firms up really nice, that's what you want to do. You want to take it out. We've taken it out, let it come to room temperature a little bit. It's a little soft. You recognize from before. I've added some flour to it, and you'll need a pasta machine like this. You can roll it in a rolling pin, but you have to have lots of strength. This makes it much easier, and the pasta machine actually makes it all the same thickness. So I just pounded it out, added some flour. You put on the 0 setting, goes from 0 to 9. And then you feed it through there. And that's your first run through. You want to run it maybe once or twice through the 0. That then tells you how wide it's going to get. Now, it may take a little maneuvering, but That piece of dough, I cut into 4 sections. That'll tell you that each small boule or ball will just go through, will just be the proper size, and won't be any wider than this. Because if it's wider than that, it bunches up and curls up, and then you have a problem. So cut into 4, run it through a couple times through 1. Then we want to fold it into a letter fold. Okay? Still on 0. Work that through. That just gives us just a little extra working of the dough so it'll cut up nice. And if we want to cut pappardelle, we want to cut ribbons. We want to cut ribbons, keep the end pieces. You want to cut ribbons for pappardelle. You make the pappardelle very long, or you can make it short. To cut this in half, and it's a ribbon cut. And these are ribbons. That's what pappardelle is. It's very nice to make with fresh pasta. We've salted some water. We have a gallon of water. To every gallon of water cooks about a pound of pasta. You need 2 or 3 tablespoons of salt. It helps the water to increase its boiling, and also it's important to realize that if you put pasta that has salt or flavoring in it, like egg or salt, in the pasta, in unsalted water, the unsalted water will pull out the flavor, so we always salt the water when we cook pasta. Do not put oil in the pasta water. Let's drop those nice pappardelle in there. And even those little bow ties we made earlier. We're going to stir those up. And cook until they're tender. What's nice about egg noodles is that they're very tender already, so this is going to be great. So we'll be back when it comes to a simmer. So let's check our pasta and see if it's tender. Nice and soft, but firm, al dente, beautiful. So we'll remove our pasta now and drain it in preparation for service. Well, thanks for joining us today at LearnToCook.com. Be sure to comment and to subscribe. Also visit us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great day, and thank you.